Your general thoughts about tonight's game?
Well, I would throw that into the category of winning ugly, I think, and an ugly win's as good as a pretty win. We grinded that one out. Obviously, we're playing a very defensive style right now, and we scored enough to win, and we won ugly, and we'll take it.
So right in the beginning of the frame, you guys dominated in terms of the defense. You guys were on it. You were fast. What happened at the end of the first quarter that caught them, that allowed them to catch up a little?
Well, I think our ball screen defense, wasn't great for periods. I also think, what are good teams going to do? If you're shutting down some of the stuff that they're doing, they're going to start making adjustments, right? I think Laurentian made some good adjustments, and then we have to counter with our adjustments. So, that's part of the cat and mouse and strategy of the game, and, we just have to kind of stay the course and make sure we're recognizing things and making sure we're making proper adjustments as well.
So at one point in the game, they were actually only down by about 2 points. So what did you say to your team in that moment to try and get them to get the points back up higher?
Well, just to throw kind of a cliche at you, we don't really care how many we're up or down. We focus on every possession and make sure we're trying to play the same way every possession. So we're not so much focused on the score at that point. We're just trying to execute the best we can at either the defensive or offensive end.
Yesterday you did mention that one thing that you guys were going to focus on today is your attention to detail. Do you think that you paid attention to a lot of those details that you didn't yesterday, or was it just a different situation?
We didn't do a bad job. It wasn't great, but again, when you're playing a team the second day of a back-to-back, and we basically, kind of had more or less just today to really focus specifically on Laurentian, we're not going to be as detailed if we had a couple days to prepare. So, there was a little slippage there at times, but I think overall we adjusted well, and we've got, 4 or 5 year seniors that play on our team, and they've seen this stuff before, so it's nice to have that veteran leadership and recognize some of these things.
And speaking of those veterans, they were under a lot of heavy defense today. How did them work towards shaking those people off and trying to get to the basket?
Well, Laurentian, is very well coached, and they do a nice job defensively, and they played a physical style on us today as well. And Greg didn't have his typical game today, but Tony and Peter really picked up the slack. And that's what a team does. When one guy's maybe struggling a little bit, other guys got to step up, and that's something we've been searching for, and it was nice to have that today.
So now you're on a 4-game winning streak. How are you going to keep that going in the future?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? If you got the answer, let me know. We just got to continue doing what we do and impose our style on the other team and keep the score down and give ourselves a chance to win. And it's kind of been a broken record, but continue to find secondary, third and fourth options for scoring to help out Greg and Pete and Tony. And if we can do that, we'll continue to be tougher to beat and hopefully build some momentum going into the playoffs.
So starting off the game, Spiritus had a huge game to start. You and Morrow picked up the slack at the end. What's starting to click for you guys?
Yeah, well, pretty much every day in practice we run high-low in practice, and when teams are kind of undersized like Laurentian is, we always make sure we take advantage of that. And I think at the start we're kind of struggling to get it in, but then we kind of found our groove, started feeding the post and then just going to work in the post, and those guys made good moves and we were able to capitalize a lot.
And how important is it to get other guys like Tony Gang going? Because again, it comes down to you and Greg most of the time. The bread and butter is between the two of you, but how does it feel when you have other guys contribute?
Well, yeah, it's great to have depth. Like we rely on Greg some games to score 20, 30 points, and it's good to know that we can win some games where he doesn't have huge numbers and other guys contribute. And I think for us to take it to the next level, for us to compete with some of the top teams, we have to have contributions from 4 or 5 guys scoring the ball to kind of take the pressure off Greg and let him do what he does best.
And what worked well for you guys in terms of the trap game tonight? You guys broke their press a lot, but you guys created a lot of turnovers as well.
Yeah, well, we've been playing a much more aggressive style of defense. We kind of switched it up towards the end of the year there, or towards say probably maybe like 4 or 5 games ago. We started showing on ball screens and really trapping and forcing the guy on the ball to really make a tough decision there, where he's either passing it to the big guy or throwing a skip pass where we've been doing a really good job with rotations of getting out on the double teams and stuff
And
like
when you
that.
say about the depth of your team, now you're getting guys like Farkic and Kut to come in and play significant minutes in games like this.
Yeah, well, Coot hit some threes for us, which was great. Anytime he hits threes, it kind of gets our confidence going for everyone else, I think. And then, yeah, just any depth. Farkic, being a first-year player, playing with a lot of confidence. He's great dribbling the ball, good passer, and he's been doing good for us. Same with Ian Smart. He's been giving us good minutes at the big spot, spelling me with some breaks and giving guys some minutes where, we kind of need them, basically.
And moving forward, you guys have 2 games on the road, so you're at Queens and you're at York, and then you're back at home for 3. So what do you guys got to do on the road before coming back here?
Yeah, if we're on the road, we just got to continue to kind of make sure we're steady on our details. Because like we play Queens first, we'll be able to have a real good scout on them. But then the turnover with the Queens York is pretty tough. So we'll have to make sure we're focused on that Saturday and making sure we're locked in on all the details. But basically just the same old thing, there are going to be games where we're scoring 60 points, which isn't great, but we know with our defense that if we kind of play hard, play the right way, stay focused, we can hold teams under 60 points, and that gives us a great chance to win.